What's up, family? Basketball is back, and Bet Online remains your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. You always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at Bet Online. As your continued source for all sports wagering information, Bet Online features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether it's that's the NFL, the NBA, NHL, MMA, tennis, boxing, or even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your rewards. Bet online where the game starts. Bet online is the proud sponsor of the Bossman Show. All right, folks, back on the Boss Man Show. Friend of mine, Sam, Houston State. You know that means I'm going to talk to my man, Jay Hoot. We just on the Boss Man Show. What's up, brother? How things going with the Bearcats, man?
Everything's good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. We really are getting to know each other well, man. You know, you already know my nickname, so
Yes.
that's what my best friend calls me, Jay Hoot. So that's kind of funny.
Yes.
Kind of funny. But no, everything's good. We're let's see. We finished our 11th day of practice today, and I kind of feel like we've had about 9 good days out of 11. So I've been very pleased with our group, and they've worked really hard up until this point.
I just found funny. I looked at how you've been here as head coach 13 years, and some people say as a head coach, long time. I'm starting my 11th year with the Hawks, be covering the Hawks. This year, 11 years. So like, it's like for me, it's like wow. I'm doing this a long time in one place. It's rare you have a job where like you and I have where we're in the same place for more than a decade.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time that ask me that, I'm kind of a freak of nature. Like there's not a lot of us in this business where I've only been at 2 schools. I was at Tarleton as an assistant for 11 years, and then we've been here for 18. This will be our 19th year here and my 30th year in college basketball. And as you said, I was an assistant for 6 years and then starting my 13th year here as a head coach. And then the more interesting thing is now it's almost like I've had 3 or 4 different jobs at this one place because, I was an assistant coach and then I became the head coach in the Southland and then now the head coach in the WAC. And now next fall we'll be starting Conference USA. So, it's like you're taking these different jobs, but you've never left the same place. You sleep at the same house in the same bed and, you get up every day and you go to work in the same office. And so we've just been blessed, JR. I mean, this has been an awesome opportunity for us. And, we've had a lot of success and there's been a lot of people that have, been an integral part of that.
We've been doing this for 5 years too, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is our 5th year doing this.
Yeah, that's why we know each other so well by now.
Let me ask you. I want to ask you this question. So you got an email from me 5 years ago. What did you expect when I emailed you 5 years ago? Come on the show. What did you really expect 5 years ago?
Well,
when I emailed you?
Yeah. So I'm not and I hate this about myself, but I'm not a guy that watches a bunch of podcasts, and I know I should because there's some that are so good and some that are informative. But I just don't. I'm the guy that spends a lot of time with my team and a lot of time with my family, and so I don't do a lot of those things. When I'm at home, I try to spend time with my kids and try to spend time with my wife. So I don't do a bunch of podcasts, but I'd always heard your name. Like I knew who you were, but just never had really watched a bunch of it. Just had always seen your name. And again, I knew you were really popular and you have a lot of coaches on. And so when you called or when I saw the email, it wasn't like it caught me. I think it caught me off guard that you wanted me to be on your show, but it didn't caught, I didn't think, who is this guy? Or, oh, this is is this a, because sometimes we get those emails and you're like, is this a scam? Is this a phishing
Oh,
thing?
no.
You know, but when I saw it, I knew who you were, and I was like, oh wow, that's like I feel kind of important. I feel privileged that he wants me to be on his show. So it's been great. I really look forward to this every year. I look forward to being on here and having a chance to talk. And I know throughout the year that you and I stay in touch with each other and we text message each other quite a bit.
No doubt. Like I said, man, it's fun talking to you guys, man, because I feel like, lots of the people only cover you all when it's something bad happens or you win a lot. I want to cover you just because.
Right.
I went to a small school, Tennessee State myself. I said homecoming. I listened to homecoming this weekend. So for me, covering a small school was good for me because that's where I came from. And you all don't get covered unless something bad happens or we win a lot.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, and we're you and I talked about this before we went on air. I mean, we're trajectorying to different areas and different places. And now, next fall, I know, we'll be starting Conference USA, and we're kind of starting to get into that area where, we're going to be known even more, I hope, throughout the country, and going to a league like Conference USA that has a big name behind it. And so, we've got to continue to step up in a lot of areas, and get into those talks, and be on these kind of places and shows.
No doubt, man. As all my stores open to you, and like I said, it's not official, but folks, Kennesaw State's coming to the country USA. So Jason will be able who be coming back to my backyard, taking out to eat in Atlanta. Also, House Nashville, you all know still. So Murfreesboro right down the road from House Nashville too. So you good on the road, brother. You come those stops, Western, Middle, and Kennesaw. I got you, my brother.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to hold you to that too. I'm definitely holding you to that.
No doubt. And for early sports recruiting wise, no one you're moving up to a conference, you gonna say, hey now, how's recruiting been for you guys since now? Hey, you in the WAC, very much known now, Conference USA. So the calls you're getting for your 24 class and 23 class, how's that been for you guys?
Yeah, Jr. There's been a jump for sure, and that started when we made that initial announcement that we were going to go Conference USA. And we talked as a staff and we said that we needed to have that mindset from the beginning. We didn't need to wait until we actually get in that league. As soon as that announcement was made, we turned our focus a lot towards that level. And, we're hoping that it works out for us and that we can get some of those guys, that are, a step and a notch above maybe even the guys that we're getting now. And, and we feel like we have a really talented team this year, but we also understand what we have to do in order to be competitive and in order to win, in that next league.
No doubt. And I feel like you have a good mix of young guys and old guys this year too. So real balanced roster. So how's it make you feel? No, you got some young guys in the pipeline, but some guys who are older so you can really play the ball for you as well.
Our practices have been great. Like you said, we've got 7 guys back. 6 of those guys played good minutes last year, or at least 5 of them did. And out of those guys, we've got 3 or 4 that are COVID guys. So those guys have all actually this is their 5th year. And you know how it is. I mean, when you got someone that's been in your program for that long, or when you've been around somebody that long, you get to trust them. You know what they're thinking, and they know what you're thinking. And so, in practices every day, those guys know what I want, and they know how to compete. They know the level of the standard that we set here, and how hard you have to work every day. So those guys have been terrific for our team, and it's been fun. And now we've got 6 new really talented guys that we're trying to incorporate into that mix. And it's been fun. I mean, it's our practice, as I said, we've had about 9 out of 11 good ones, and we've just continued to get better and better every day.
No doubt. And we all know this too. The WAC's a dog fight, from Abilene to New Mexico State, Grand Canyon, Seattle. Chris up there is doing things, California Baptist.
Matt Figure had some issues last year, but he's got some talent this year as well. So, I mean, just the test when you get out of non-con, it's gonna be like a dogfight. And Kyle does a good job as Stephen F. Austin. It's just crazy what you got coming up after non-con season, brother.
JR, I mean, I just got out of practice and I felt pretty good about the day, and now you've ruined it for me. I mean, the WAC is a really good basketball league, and it does not probably get enough respect. I know we were right around the 15th ranked league in the country last year out of 32, maybe around 14 or somewhere in there last year. I just can't tell you how good of a league it is. The travel is very difficult, and you play a lot of games on Thursday, Saturday, which gives you a little short turnaround. So now, you're going all the way to Utah, and then you got to turn around and, you got to play on Saturday at New Mexico State, and you got to make that travel, and this is a league that doesn't have private jets. And so it's tough. It's a tough league. It's a lot of really, really good coaches and teams that are very well coached and tough, but you also got a lot of talent, man. And, last year, you look at Farquhar and, he left and went to Texas Tech. The Allen kid that was at New Mexico State, I had Savion Flagg. Savion's playing in one of the top leagues overseas, the top division in France. And, he's got 19 and 12 in his first game the other night as a pro. So those are great players. And there's going to be a lot of talent in this league this year as well. And you've got to be, JR, you got to be at your best every night.
No doubt, Jay Hooten, I'm going to say this, man. Like, I can't imagine how hard for you to schedule games. Because you're in the WAC. Because people don't want to buy you. Also don't want to risk, losing to you at the same time. So it's like, I know scheduling is one of the biggest liars on scheduling. And you both know that. So how was that just trying to put a schedule together to play non-con this year?
So I've had 2 bad years in a row, or I say 2 bad years. We've had 2 tough years in a row. Last year was very difficult. We only could get one non-conference Division I home game last year. It was Missouri State here, and they came in and spanked us pretty good. This year we have 0, so all we got was non-D1s to come here. So that's moving forward. That's something that we've got to get. I started a couple of series on the road this year. I really didn't want to, but we did that so that next year we'll have those games returning and at least have some Division I home games, not conference. But it's been difficult, JR. To me, that's been probably the hardest part of our job is just the schedule and trying to get it to where, everybody wants to play at home, JR. I mean, it's pretty obvious that, people want to, got a better chance of winning at home, of course, right? And so it's tough. It's been very difficult to get those games here and, to put together a schedule that I think from top to bottom is fair. But our schedule's tough this year. It'll be very good. And, we'll be ready. We'll be road tested by the time conference starts for sure.
No doubt. You got Oklahoma, Utah, Oklahoma State, those tough schools, man. Tough can be. And, but hey, like you said, we know this league is tough. So it's going to have you get that callous because, let's be honest, a lot of time in the WAC, you got to win that tournament in March. That's when it counts. So to be at your peak at that point, to be able to see everything you don't see with adversity, you get ready for that. So you got to gear up for that right there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you've got to win that conference tournament. This is, as of right now, this is a 1-bid league. Do I think it can become a 2-bid league? Absolutely. But you got to win that tournament. I mean, right now, that's what you got to do. And, I think last year, we played a great game against Grand Canyon in that second round or third round. And, it came down to the wire. We had a 1-point lead with 50 seconds to go and ended up losing the game. We had a couple of really good looks at the basket and just didn't make the shot, didn't get one stop. But I think every year you would take being in that game and in that moment and in that situation. And, if we can get back there again this year, I think we'll be very pleased and just have an opportunity to win that game and move forward.
I think what I want to make this point to our listeners here, Jason, is this, brother. The margins of this are thin in your league. Like top to bottom, the margins are razor thin. Like it's possessions that are making differences in games. It's not talent, it's possessions. And
You know,
people don't really understand that it's really that close of a margin for these
yeah,
games you all playing every night.
yeah, it comes down, JR, it comes down to execution and getting the best shot, not taking a crazy shot or a bad shot at the moment in the game when you need to. And then, like making no mistakes on defense. Last year I was very pleased at the end of the game. We didn't get a stop, but the kid shot it and he shot it over the top of a guy and he made a tough shot, right? And so you can go to bed at night saying, we guarded that exactly the way I wanted to. The guy just won a one-on-one battle. But we had one of our better defensive teams that we've ever had here. Last year, we were really good defensively. And, we hung our hat on defense for most part of the year. Offensively, when you get into those razor thin, no room for error games, like you said, what you want at the end is you want to execute and you want to get the ball to the person you want to get it to and get the shot that you want. JR, sometimes it goes in and sometimes it doesn't. And, we got the ball in Savion's hand the last 3 possessions of the game, and it just didn't happen to go in. I'd do it if I had it to do again tomorrow. I'd run the same play and I'd get the ball to him again and do the same thing. And, I think right now, JR, we're trying to figure out on our team who that Savion is. We're trying to figure out who that guy's going to be that's going to take that shot at the end of that game. And, I think we got a couple of options. Some are starting to rise above the others. But I also think we're going to have a different team this year than we did last year. Last year, we really, really depended on him. Him and Lampley were the 2 guys that we had to get points out of every night. And I think this year we've got a more balanced team, and I think there'll be a different guy drive the bus every night.
No doubt. And because, in your game, you can do a true zone. In my game in the NBA, I call it a faux zone. It's really not really a zone because you'll be in for 3 seconds and you get a lane. So right. you can have the best play ever after time I play in the world, but they zone it up. You bust that play. You got to play out that zone. They go zone. So I feel like for you and you all in your role, it's hard to draw plays up at the end of the game because someone can bust up by going zone for real. Just say we're not going to let you use the ball. My level gets run a 1-5 pick and roll, or plays do some ball screen stuff. You get the match if you want. You can shots you want no matter what. But in your games, like you really zone up the whole court. Have 5 guys on the side of the floor and say, "Hey, beat me." That's why I respect you all so much for what you all do. It's a little harder to win in the games, in my opinion, for you all than it is in the NBA for sure.
Well, you're also in that league where you got the best players in the world, and so at the end of shot clocks and at the end of games, any one of those 5 guys, for the most part, maybe 3 or 4 on the floor. I mean, any of those guys can raise up and make a play, right? And I don't think I want to coach in the NBA, but I'm obviously envious of you that you get to be in that kind of element every night, and you get to see those things that I mean, those are amazing shots that those guys make, and the talent that you're around on a daily basis. I know that's fun to be around and fun to watch for sure.
No doubt, Jay Hooten. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I learned so much. Now I'm a football player by trade, but being this job and watching synergies as much as I do, there's so much basketball over the years, man. I appreciate what you all do so much because, like, man, this game is like we have a break in between plays. It's all going all the time. And the skill they see how the work that they put with stretching, with the the pulls,
exactly.
The shots they take after practice, after drilling practice. Seeing what John Collins do every day and seeing what Hunter does every day. And it's just amazing to see what these guys do to get ready for these games each night and play 8 times a year. That's on your body, 8 games a year. Man, it's amazing what these guys do.
Now, 82 games, I think it's interesting how sports are and how they're set up. With basketball, 82 games, you play every other night or every night sometimes. Not a lot of break, your body, the wear and the tear. But then you look at football, and they play 17 games, but they only play once a week. But think about it, man. I mean, they're out there. I mean, those licks that those guys are giving and taking, there's no possible way they could play more than 1 game a week and be able to make it. I mean, you just couldn't make it. So I always say, though, I wouldn't be able to be a good football coach because there's so much time between the first a game and the next game. So, for example, like in basketball, if we get beat at the buzzer, man, in 2 nights, we're going to get back out there and redeem ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But in football, you know, if you lose on a field goal at the end, you got to wait a whole week and you got to replay that game in your mind that whole week, and you don't get a chance to go out and redeem yourself again for a whole nother week. So I always thought that would be really, really hard. You know, baseball to me would be the easiest because they play 162 games. And if you lose a 12-inning walk-off home run in the bottom of the 12th, less than 24 hours and you're out there, you're going to play again. So, you know, to me, that would be the easiest one because you could always, you know, you got to have a short memory there. Like, you got to flush it. You got to go to bed. You wake up and it's like, all right, yeah, we might need to work on that double play that we should have turned, or we should have thrown the third instead of first. But man, we're playing. Like, here we go. We're ready to go. We're playing again. So I guess the hardest part about the baseball season would be just the grueling,
Yes.
you know, how long it is. And, you know, you're playing every day. And yeah, some days I think there's some teams that play like 20 straight games before an off day, right?
Yes.
So that would probably be the tough part of that.
Think about this for me, from October 19th until April 9th, I'm on a grind.
Yeah.
Then the playoffs, we make the playoffs.
I was going to say, and hopefully you get to be in a grind more than that, because hopefully you guys make the playoffs and get on a run.
Playoff bonus, yes.
Like you did 2 years ago. Yeah, for sure.
I love the bonus for playoff bonus. I love that. Let's do it again, guys. I love it.
For sure.
It was good in my bank account. I love it.
Yeah.
And see,
let's do it.
For football, like, we was off on Sundays, watch film on Mondays, on the field Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, walk through on Friday, game on Saturday.
On Friday, game day Saturday.
So for me, I play slot receiver. So I'm getting hit a lot. So it took me till Wednesday to feel
before you started feeling good.
Decent again.
Yeah. Yeah, by Wednesday you were ready to go at it again. But
yeah, well, if you try to come
Sunday,
back and
Monday,
play on
Tuesday,
Sunday,
that's 3 days.
I'm sore. I'm not able to run full speed. So like, yeah. So this is true. It's just why when I see them play about Thursday night football, I'm like, that's the limit. Thursday's the limit. So they got 4 days off.
Yeah.
So like for me, it was Wednesday. So at Wednesday, you're just about to where you need to be for the next game. But
you'll have
even
to
then,
walk through that day, right? That'll be walkthrough day. Wednesday would be, right?
Yes. For install first, base stuff, you know. Then the Thursdays will be the big day, and Fridays once again go over red zone, stuff like that, you know. And see, thankfully, our school was kind of pioneering. We was playing spread back in 04, 05, 06, before it got popular.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I started. I was a slot guy started. So like, okay, we 11 personnel, which is one back, tight end, and 3 receivers, 11 personnel. That's what we were
getting a lot of action. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was X, Y, or Z. Had to know every position, X, Y, or Z. So yeah, we out there doing it. Now our coach is defensive coach. He don't want to admit this. No, defense costs us many games. It's the offense's fault. How is your defense's fault? But okay.
Isn't that how it always works?
We're having a shootout. Our game's like 35, 38. And it ain't us.
It always works that way, I'm sure.
Yes. Now,
right?
Yes.
You either score a lot or you give up a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love my quarterback, Leon. I saw him this weekend at the homecoming. But Leon is a double agent. He'll throw some picks for you too. He'll make up his mind, pre-snap. I'm going here, no matter what. You'll be wide open in the zone. I'm going. He's going. Pick. Leon, you always be determined where you're going to ball. You never read defense, brother. I know you did. Yeah, I did. You never read defense, Leon. I know that, brother. Don't lie to me. I get on everywhere homecoming. I get on.
Those are some good old. That sounds like some good times right there.
Yeah, and I told you previously, you know, we're NFL guys on our roster. I mean, Roger Cromartie played with the Giants and the Cardinals. Levine over the Ravens. Those are my teammates.
Yeah.
So I told them guys all the time, J. Hoot, I made y'all money. I made y'all money as quarterbacks in practice. Y'all owe me some money.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all drafted.
That's right.
Ronaldo Gonzalez, little kid from Atlanta, chased after me every day. That's what made you good.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. You know, like I said, man, football is other team sport, but I love what you all do, basketball, man. I love it. It's fun
I
to me.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's it's kind of like what you said with with your basketball season there with the Hawks. We started our first day of practice was right around September 26th, and it doesn't let up now until I hope March. So it's a grind for sure. I tell our guys it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you can't win a sprint on this. You gotta learn how to win the marathon.
No doubt. And you know what's so fun about this job that we you both have, man? We get to cover. We do sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sports is the best job ever to me. It's not work. It's not work to me.
I was
I
fixing to
enjoy
say
chatting with
I've
you
always
all. Chatting with you. I enjoy chatting with the Hawk players and other players. It's not work to me. It's easy to me.
yeah, like I've always been told, it's like you don't really have to go to work every day. You go do something that you really enjoy and something that's fun. So, being able to build a team, I think that's always been the part that I've enjoyed the most is just like I love practice. I love going to practice every day. I love putting a practice plan together. And just watching guys improve and watching guys continue to get better. Right now we've started to make some strides a little bit on both sides of the ball. And, it's just been fun to watch and see these guys grow a little bit. And then at some point in time, you'll figure out how good you're going to be, whether or not, bottom line is getting guys that get the ball in the hole. If we got enough guys that can get the ball in the hole and we can score some points, I always think we're going to be pretty good defensively and we're going to guard. We just got to figure out if we're going to score enough points.
No doubt. Well, look, I'm glad to have you on the show. As always, my brother. I enjoy our chat, enjoy our friendship, text each other all the time, man. I enjoy it. So I hope you see we win some games non-con on too bad, man. We'll get you on here in January and catch up, man, and get ready for his
That'd
whack
be
play
great.
one more time.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. I'd love to be back on maybe in the spring sometime or in January, February around conference. Our first conference game is December the 29th. We open up at Utah Valley, who's a really good team. But yeah, I'd love to be back on. It's always a joy to be around you and, your attitude and your energy for the game. And, those are the kind of people that you want to be around, the people that love the game. So I appreciate you having me on, man.
Anytime, brother. We'll do this again real soon, brother.
All right. Take care.
All right.
What's up, family? Basketball is back, and Bet Online remains your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. You always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at Bet Online. As your continued source for all sports wagering information, Bet Online features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether it's that's the NFL, the NBA, NHL, MMA, tennis, boxing, or even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your rewards. Bet online where the game starts. Bet online is the proud sponsor of the Bossman Show.